Today is a huge day for XRP holders. Finally, the SEC Ripple lawsuit has come to an end. This is off an announcement from the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, celebrating this. This is a victory in courts. In the end of the day, this is coming to a close, which is a very bullish thing for XRP. And XRP did pop off today to the upside. A nice 11, actually at one point a 15% move to the upside. And right now we're actually only up 11 or 15%. In fact, we're starting to come back down, which might be shocking. Why? On the day where the SEC Ripple lawsuit comes to an end, is XRP not at $3, above $3, shooting up to $5 or $10 like so many people have been talking about, so many XRP holders have been waiting for? Well, there's a good reason for the, it had a good pump, but there's a good reason for the subtle pump instead of a massive pump that we were hoping for on this news. And to that, we have to look at the Fed today and talk about this whole story. So welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I'm Crypto Kip. Right now, I want to take a look at the price of XRP, what comes next, what happened with this news, with the lawsuit coming to a close today, and with the Fed, where I streamed that earlier on this channel. I did a live stream of the FOMC meeting, so check that out on this channel as well. But let's get into this. Welcome back. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Please note, nothing I say is financial advice, but my friends, I did want to tell you, this weekend, as I did a video about XRP, I told you, and I was not one that came out and said, oh, any minute now, any minute tomorrow, the Ripple and SEC case again. And I wasn't really one of those people. In fact, I was kind of laughing that they kept putting it off, and it'll end when it'll end. But this last weekend, I actually put out a video saying it could happen any day now. It could happen any day, any moment, maybe even this week. I said that this weekend, and here we are. Why did I say that? Because we saw the Gemini case, the Robinhood case, the Coinbase case with the SEC all thrown out, and now finally the XRP Ripple lawsuit is coming to a close too. So not surprising, but what is surprising is an 11% move when you might want to see a 111% move on a day like today. That's what you'd think, because this is big news, guys. XRP surges as Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse says the SEC is dropping its lawsuit against the company, coming out and saying it's been almost 4 years and about 3 months since the SEC originally sued us. Certainly a painful journey in lots of ways, said Garlinghouse, but I really deeply believe that we were going to be the right side of the law and the right side of history. The system just feels broken, that we had to fight this for the industry, fight for the industry. And you had the SEC attacking the industry, particularly Ripple. There were no victims. There were no investor loss. They were just not acting in good faith. This is its accusation of the SEC. The original lawsuit was that they sued Ripple for breaching securities laws by selling XRP without first registering with the agency. The problem is XRP is basically being deemed not a security. It's probably just a commodity, is basically what we're getting here. And now this court case is out the window. So on this news, you can now have some of the ideas that have been put forth, like the IRS doing tax refunds in XRP tokens, start to become an actual possibility. Now, the reason we're actually getting held back from the pump today is because of this. The Fed held interest rates steady. We had the FOMC meeting today. It was one of the worst possible days for this news to come out after we've had a lot of downward momentum in the crypto market. Bitcoin's still down 30% almost from its highs. Ripple is down quite a bit. XRP is down quite a bit from its highs. The whole market is down from its highs. In fact, if you just look at the total market cap for cryptocurrency, here's where we were and here's where we are. Now, we are getting a nice bounce for the total market cap, but we are still down a nice 25% from where we were back in just December and January of this year. So we look like we're getting a bounce here, but and Bitcoin's coming up after this FOMC meeting. And XRP had a nice shoot up today. You look at it, and XRP in the last 2 weeks is kind of getting a nice bounce off the $2 level, up a nice 25%. But you'd think that on this news, you might see XRP at $3, back to its highs at $3.45. Everybody's been waiting on this case to get resolved. Why isn't it pumping? And the answer is because there's still uncertainty with the total market. There's still uncertainty with the Fed, guys. The Fed holding these interest rates steady. you know, it's not really, we want to see the rates come down. Uncertainty has increased. This is a big takeaway. Uncertainty around the economic outlook has increased, says in their document that they put out. Scaling back quantitative tightening. Now, this is good. The Fed announced a further scaling back of its quantitative tightening, which, you know, is actually basically telling us that, you know, the Fed indirectly cut rates today by taking action to reduce the pace of runoff in its Treasury holdings. But Fed Chair Jerome Powell came out and kind of really came away, and this was one of the summaries that I actually liked a lot. Their expectations are a little slack in terms of the Fed moves today kind of echo the uncertainty in the Wall Street that Wall Street is feeling. Their expectations are a little stagflationary because GDP estimates came down as inflation inched higher, but none of it is very decisive. And that's the big line from today. None of it is very decisive. Today wasn't a very decisive day, but quantitative tightening is inching in the right direction. And this XRP lawsuit is definitely moving the industry in the right direction. So why isn't XRP pumping? And the answer is just because of the uncertainty over the tariffs. The Fed today came out and said that the tariffs are going to hurt when it comes to inflation and make it worse. And that is going to cause an issue for the Fed to cut rates. And in order to see risk on assets, XRP included, regardless of the lawsuit coming to an end, you need to see the climate be right for Bitcoin, for crypto, for altcoins, and that means rate cuts. Quantitative tightening ending is a step in the right direction, telling us that later on we're going to get more rate cuts, but not in May, maybe in June, and we're still probably looking at 2 later this year. So in the meantime, congratulations on the pump to all XRP holders. Why didn't it pump higher? Well, the answer is because of the Fed, to be honest with you guys. And it's really a bummer. It's because of the macroeconomics. It's because of the traditional market. It's because of a lot of things. But this Ripple case, you would have thought it would have exploded the price of XRP, and it just did not, unfortunately, yet. Now, we could be getting a bounce here on total market cap and getting a very big move up for altcoins and crypto, just as a little bit of a recovery. But I don't really expect new all-time highs until the macro conditions are right, and that is the Fed cutting rates. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, guys. Still a super nice day for XRP. If I zoom into the 4-hourly candles, taking a peek at this, after a little pump today, XRP might come back a little bit down. I wouldn't be surprised to see XRP come back down to like this $2.30 level, something in $2.30, $2.40 range, low 40-cent range. If Bitcoin can hold up and we can sustain at this $80,000-ish price level for Bitcoin, I think XRP can remain above $2. If total market cap slips below my key level here, right at like 2.6 trillion, which is right off of our 2024 March all-time highs, not all-time highs, March 2024 highs, before we had this 240-day consolidation period. If we break it down below that, then we could see XRP heading below $2. Still, even though this lawsuit is over. But do not be mistaken. This is a bullish day for XRP. This is a win for the crypto industry, and this sets us up for bigger, more bullish moves in the future. In the short term, there's still uncertainty with the traditional market. There's still uncertainty with the crypto market as well, because we need rate cuts so risk on assets can rally. It's one of the most important things for the crypto asset class right now as a whole. Certainly the regulation and the hurdles that we had to jump across were impeding the future of crypto, and those are going away. We're moving forward in a positive direction for crypto. That is huge, but we need the money situation to be right as well. If you want to trade XRP, you could sign up for Blowfin using the link in the comments down below. I believe when you sign up, you still get $10 in free XRP when you deposit $100. So if you want to do some trading on some of this volatility, actually, truth be told, I'm in a little bit of a short trade on XRP because I don't like to buy green candles, right? When we see a big pump, and it's actually kind of a weak pump, relatively speaking, for XRP, I'm looking for a retracement back down. I've got my stop losses set right now. And I'm looking for opportunities to trade. Why? Because then I can take my profits from those trades and put them into the spot positions like XRP, like Bitcoin, and my favorite altcoins out there in the crypto space. Guys, that's all I have for you in this one. I'm Crypto Kip. This is a Crypto Report. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, DCA, HODL. I'll see you in the next one, y'all. 2 videos here if you want to check them out. Till next time, peace.